Good morning, everyone. I'm a minute late. Um, Welcome to the intersection. And we continue one Thursday after another Thursday, and here we are since the beginning of COVID. So it's great to see all of you with us this morning. This year, we've been running some series first on mental health. And we do have a mental health conference coming up. And this is one of those announcements, Pathways to Hope. We're going to put a link into chat. Pathways to Hope is the last Friday and Saturday of this month. No cost conference at the Tobin. I cannot encourage you anymore. I mean, you've got to go. There's so many important things that are going to be happening during this conference. Its theme is taking action. But we're talking both as individuals, but as institutions, as a city in this state. What's it going to take, right, to really move these things along? We're currently kind of been a mixture of things, but we're currently in a series on older adults and caregivers. But it has also led to volunteerism in there because that's also very much a part of those of us who are aging, which would be like all of us, but volunteerism has come up a couple times during this series. So we're going to be looking at that a little bit more today. In a way I love to look at it is about bringing our skills, um, our skills that we have utilized and honed throughout our lives, but to bring those into the volunteer world. Sacred itself is a product of that precise kind of volunteering. So I want to lift that up and how important this is. We've also heard of a volunteer effort, Volunteer SATX, that is trying to kind of unite volunteering all across San Antonio so that we're even better at it, more fine-tuned at it. So that's what we're going to be hearing about today in a little bit. So before we get there, we've got about 2 or 3 minutes that we can utilize for a couple more announcements, and that'll allow a few more people to get into the Zoom room before we begin. Do we have any announcements out there that people would like to share? And Doug is here, so I assume he's going to put the link in. Oh, it says it doesn't work. Doug, do you want to say a few words about Pathways?
Yeah. So August 28th and 29th, the 11th Annual Pathways to Hope Conference. As Ann said, the theme is taking action. Several of our featured speakers are going to be New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, followed by a panel of community leaders. And we're going to be looking at some key issues in our community like jail diversion and hospital beds. Uh, Another speaker will be Dr. Consuelo Walls-Bass. She's an author, scientist, a daughter.
And Doug froze up. While he's warming up from freezing up, I want to also encourage everyone to come on that
So,
Saturday. There he is. Doug, you froze
and
up for
that,
just a second.
okay, Dr. Consuelo Walls-Bass. And then on Saturday, August 29th, we'll be focusing on youth and the people who work with youth. So it'll be a youth mental health conference for both youth and adults.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
And my guess too is that, working with youth also includes parents, grandparents, siblings, and congregations and organizations. So, very important overall topic of, focusing on youth. So I hope that many of you will come and be there. Some reason, hang on, folks. Don't mean to be scattered here today. So at this point, if there aren't any other announcements, I want to thank Dana for coming today Dana is with the San Antonio Independent School District, and I'm told she's a one-person team. And I asked people earlier to raise hands how many people here have been a one-person team at some point in their life. And I'm guessing, yep, Melanie's raising her hand. Darcy is running t-shirts all by herself. And that's when you kind of know that somebody, is really committed and passionate about their work. At some point, Dana, I will say, okay, let's get some volunteers to help you, Dana, to be more than a one-person team. And that's when you really start to fly. But thanks for being here this morning. I can't wait to hear about the tweakings and what you do in terms of volunteers. It's all yours, Dana.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, one person, so volunteers are helpful. Good morning, all. I'm glad to be here today. I'm going to share some slides and I'll preface we're actually an independent nonprofit separate from SAISD, but we are about public education. So I will get into that. I'm sure Anne, if you like, monitor the chat if there's questions. And then, of course, there's time at the end to share all those good
Absolutely. We will.
things. Awesome. So we are Leadership SAISD. We inform, empower, and inspire San Antonio to advance transformative public education opportunities for all students in San Antonio. I'm okay. Just gonna move our faces around. Sorry. So, who is Leadership SAISD? We were founded in 2012 by local educators, parents, and community members concerned about the state of our local public schools. And the founders really believed that if more community members were civically engaged around public education, they could improve educational outcomes for all students in the urban core. And I'll share later, we really highlight volunteering in the landscape, joining like appointed commissions, running for office, really affecting student outcomes with direct services. Many of our participants work at nonprofits and school districts directly with students, as well as work in more systems level policy change. So we are independent, we're nonpartisan, we're a nonprofit, and we're not governed by SAISD. We point this out because we do advocacy, but we're nonpartisan, so we're not politically aligned. We don't lobby, we don't endorse. And we're that nonprofit. We were created to really have people getting more involved to support and be an advocate for our urban core public ed in San Antonio. So with SAISD, but our partnership came up separate from that. So we do like to highlight this. And this is a photo. We do have learning cohorts that I'll get into. These are our recent graduates from our class of 2026. So we envision a cross-sector coalition of well-equipped community leaders sharing a collective responsibility to take action to improve public education across Bexar County. So we base this on data. This is current data. A lot has not changed since 2012 as well. And I know many of you on the call, this is due to many other factors in San Antonio regarding poverty, youth supports, things like that. So we know that our students in San Antonio, and this is across all public schools, like public charters, public ISDs, our students are far behind their peers in academics, have high rates of absenteeism, and only about 50% are prepared for a post-secondary pathway. And then a group called City Education Partners just released their analysis of the state tests. So this shows the first year on the left is actually about 2018. And then the last data point is this past school year of testing. So as you can see, scores have not really changed for reading, math, and all subjects are pretty aligned with that as well. We do know the state has changed state tests over time, but this is really compared to the rest of our learning peers. So when we're really thinking about supporting San Antonio, our students, future generations, we want to know this information. So we know our students are facing barriers to living a thriving life and contributing to our community. We believe that we can change those outcomes when we all have the knowledge, skills, and mindsets to build a brighter future. And as I said before, our coalition impacts children at every level of the public education ecosystem. So we're improving academic opportunities, access to resources, students' social and emotional outcomes across our community. And we are guided by 5 values: placing kids first, learning continuously, pursuing equity, collaborating, and strengthening community. So we host 3 programs. The first 2 are interconnected, and then we have a third one. So really our main program is our Education Leadership Development Program. You may be a graduate, you may know someone that has graduated from our leadership program. It is a 9-month cross-sector cohort. So aligned kind of with intersection, right? People coming from lots of different backgrounds because they care about public education, they care about our students, they want to learn more, they want to be engaged. So every year we accept about 30 to 40 fellows, and they're able to explore challenges facing school districts and the broader education sector, develop their leadership skills to make meaningful change, and they're connected to a stronger community and a network of resources. So within the 9 months cohort, we meet once a month. There are learning sessions, site visits. We have experts and practitioners present to the cohort. We visit schools, as you can see in the picture. So really, and we accept educators, we accept people working in schools, but a lot of the cohort, our goal is cross-sector. Those outside the school to really see what's going on, learn what's happening, and reflect on how they want to get involved. So as I said, they're reflecting on their individual education leadership purpose, their own lived experiences, collaborating on real-world solutions. This is an adult-based program, so we know many people are coming in with their own experiences, their own knowledge. And we do invite residents, graduates of local schools, parents, educators, K through 12 leaders, higher education professionals. We have nonprofit and corporate leaders in our cohorts. We have veterans, we have AmeriCorps alumni, entrepreneurs, and others working across community-based sectors. So we do have an application process for this, talking about why you'd want to join our program, what you'd like to get from it, what are your future goals. But really the goal is to have that cross-sector, a mix of diverse perspectives across the city, all coming together to advocate for public education. And I will share, I didn't give any detail about myself in the beginning. So I'm actually a former teacher. I'm an AmeriCorps alumni. I completed this cohort when I was a teacher a few years ago, and then I transitioned into the executive director role about 4 years ago. So the organization has been around since 2012, and I'm newer in this role. But I completed it as a teacher, this cohort, and I'm coming into this space in San Antonio, working in schools, working in our Title I schools. So that's our main program. The cohort starts in September, graduates in May, and we will get into what our alumni do as well, because our goal is really, what are you doing with this information after you graduate our cohort? So our alumni, our cohort graduates are well equipped to take action for all students in Bexar County through volunteer, appointed, and/or elected leadership roles. I will say we don't require our cohort members to graduate our program and need to sign up for something or need to run for office, but we know those that complete our learning cohort are well equipped, better prepared, better knowledgeable to make change for all our students. I do want to highlight these pictures. One of them is this top one of our alumni was running for school board in East Central. This is a kickoff party. We have alumni sitting on SAISD and other district committees involved in giving feedback to the district. And then we have some parent leaders. A lot of us are out and about in the community. I tell them all, send me your photos. You'll see me in a lot of these. But it's really about connecting that coalition to come together for public education. So since we are going into our 15th cohort, we actually have over 400 alumni at this time. There are current school board members. There are current alumni on the State Board of Education. Our alumni have sat on local district, city, county commissions, on nonprofit and corporate boards. They are community organizers. They are advocacy and policy fellows. They are place-based public education. Uh, they've made leadership pathways in their personal and professional life for public education. And right now, a lot of our school districts have opened up the application to run for school board. So we have some alumni that have announced their candidacy for school board as well. Again, we don't endorse them, but we like to share this is what our alumni are doing. And if other alumni, if other volunteers want to get on board outside our organization to support them, we connect all of those dots. So we know the LSAISD graduates have the knowledge, skills, and mindsets needed to advance informed decision making, influence policy, and strengthen systems that shape students' educational experiences. And we do have an alumni ambassador program, so a smaller group of alumni that have volunteered that say they can commit more time, they can commit more of their resources, are able to help us in the background of our sessions, do some fundraising for us, and just have committed to being more actively involved. We know everyone's busy, so our alumni are able to become our alumni ambassadors as well. Our second main program are our Ed Chats. So those are education conversations to inspire change. These are open to the public. We host them about 3 to 4 times a year. We've had Sacred out as a resource table. So they're resource fairs, panels, interactive discussions on more like one topic. Our learning cohort covers everything from school finance, what teachers do, what's the state of mental health for our students, how to get involved with school governance. Ed chats are more of like a 1 hour panel on a specific topic. We partner with other groups sometimes, and these foster critical conversations. We share resources and we strengthen our coalition to advance transformative public education opportunities for all students. So since starting Ed Chats in about 2014, we've had 30. They've covered topics like creativity in the classroom, equitable enrollment, play, nature. In the past few years, we've been doing an annual State of Public Education that we have aligned with Dream Week as well. So every January, we'll bring together stakeholders. So those are policy experts, parents, teachers, concerned community members. So this past January, we did transition to virtual because of the weather. So you can see this top photo. Myself and 2 LSAISD alumni planned the Ed Chat. We have Dr. Ferrone, who was a multilingual, bilingual student expert. Gilbert Flores is a local teacher, really focused on Mexican American studies as well. And Davina is a local graduate of St. Philip's. So we were able to hear their perspectives on, current state of education. What do teachers need? What do students need? What's going on with mental health? What's going on with supporting our multilingual learners? And really having a call to action for the community to get more involved. Our bottom photo is also, we did a partnership event with Raise Your Hand Texas. So there are some of our alumni in that group as well. Raise Your Hand Texas also does public education advocacy. So those are our main programs. And so from that, our community impact, we do collect data throughout our cohort year. After each of our learning sessions, our Ed Chat, our alumni are surveyed, really aligned with our mission and goals. And we always see a great increase from the beginning of our learning sessions to the end, that our cohort members, our participants do feel more informed, empowered, and inspired. They know how they want to engage in the public education landscape. They feel more civically engaged, and they really feel part of that broader coalition that more people are caring about public ed in San Antonio, and we have this shared responsibility to take action for all of our students. So we know our programs deepen the community's understanding of the local education landscape and equip leaders with the tools and relationships needed to ensure all students receive transformative public education opportunities. And we know through our programs that all children and future generations in Bexar County benefit from stronger, more informed public education-minded leadership. So you may recognize some people in these photos. We participate in the Big Give. We have some people in the top photo that are work in other nonprofits. They are Leadership SAISD alumni. Janae from Communities and Schools is a Leadership SAISD alumni. And then we, as a group of alumni, did a school cleanup day this past year. So it was optional for the cohort and alumni, but we did some cleanup at East Central in partnership with another nonprofit. So we know there's many ways to engage in the public education landscape. We want more people informed of the issues facing our students and our school systems and really reflecting on how they're going to show up for that in the community. So how can you engage with Leadership SAISD? In planning this, actually, Bill and I, mentioned like, well, we're talking about older adults right now. What does that look like? But that's actually a perfect group of people. You may be retired. You may know some people that are retired. It's actually a great time to get involved in maybe running for office or sitting on a commission. You may have actually more time than some of our people doing other direct services. So we always share, you can apply for a future cohort. Maybe you know someone that wants to apply for a future learning cohort. We did just close our application for this next one. But next summer we will open them up again. So again, it's a great opportunity for everyone. But we find that you may have experience in the public education system. You may be a parent. You may be a local resident that is concerned about San Antonio, and you may have the time to commit and show up more. It's also helpful for you all to follow and share our work. We are on social media. We have a newsletter. Our newsletter I also use to share tons of other resources in the community. So if you all ever share anything to me, public education related, more community involvement, I can share that on our newsletter. And we'd love for you to invite us places and engage with our work. So we can always be a table at your resource fair. If you have experience in some of our public education landscape topics, we invite people to come speak to our cohort, host us at their nonprofit, host us at a school. Ed chats are open to the public, so it's definitely a way to come and learn more about what's happening in public education. And we, as a nonprofit, also recruit every year, every few years for board members. So if you're also interested in board service, we actually have an open application for board members right now, which is a great way to give back. And then partnering with us. As shared in the beginning, very small nonprofit. So we have sponsorship opportunities for individuals and local groups. You can, on our first slide, you saw an HEB logo. HEB is one of our main sponsors for our whole program year. But anyone can sponsor a cohort member, sponsor a meal for our learning day. You can also host us at your venue if you have venue space. And if you share volunteer and advocacy opportunities with us, we may be able to show up for that volunteer time. We are a group of people that if you're thinking, oh, I need like a focus group on this, or I wonder who wants to show up if the topic is early education or mental health or higher ed, please feel free to reach out to me because I can send that out to our over 400 alumni and we can get some people involved. So after this, I'm going to put my email in the chat as well, and please follow us on social media. I did want to share our future steps for our nonprofit. We are about the urban core of public education in San Antonio, very much focused on what's happening with our students in SAISD, but we do know that all of our other local districts are going through the same issues that SAISD is going through. So we have expanding our focus area in the sense of those partnerships with other districts as well. So all of our public school districts have advocates for their students. We are always capacity building. So going back to having a small team in the future, we of course do plan to expand, get some more people working with us. We'd love to expand our alumni leadership program and our advocacy work. We are thinking through what does it look like to really show up as a coalition in these spaces to advocate for public education. So that is an overview of all of our programs, ways you can engage. And thank you. I'm excited to have presented to you all this morning.
Dana, this is amazing. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Are any of the other school districts doing something within the school district doing something similar?
So we know North Side has a program. They have a very small cohort. I think each of their school board members picked one person, so it's like 8 to 10 people for them to learn about issues facing North Side and be better advocates for them.
Mhm.
I don't know much about their program. And I think Northeast may also have a similar program. And so those you have to be residents of their districts. We're open, good question, because we're actually open to everyone in Bear County.
Mhm.
And the goal is to really get, people urban core affected to come get more involved. But we do find a lot of people that live outside SAISD want to come and learn about what's happening in SAISD. So we are different because we're open to anyone in Bear County. Um, so yeah, North Side I think has a very small program and Northeast does, but it's really about, learning those specific issues facing our students.
And thank you. That's good to know. Um, Another thing, though, Dana, that happens at the intersection,
Hmm.
a lot of folks connect here,
Hmm.
different efforts. I'm thinking, so I'm going to do a connection right now. I'm thinking that the volunteers through your nonprofit would also be very interested in the education that's offered at Pathways to Hope
Hmm.
in terms of mental health, both Friday and Saturday, because of the focus on youth on Saturday. So I'm connecting you with me and with Doug, who's on screen. We can get some information out to those volunteers.
Hmm.
Um, that would be huge. And I'm not just because we
Yeah.
both know how important the mental health is right now and always has been, but it's just really so important. The next thing that we're kind of moving into rather naturally at the intersection as well with sacred.org is with young people. And so I don't think it's going to be our very next series, but a whole lot of things have been moving, and we've been looking towards 2027
Mhm.
to really start to do even more in terms of a focus on young people. So, Doug, let's see if we can maybe Ernie can send some information to Dana. What do you think is the most efficient way to do this, Doug?
I'll say I do have the Pathways to Hope conference on my radar. If the
Good,
RSVP is open, I may have already done that, but I do have that. And then I was planning on sharing that as well.
good, good.
So if there's any other details though, yeah, I mean, if Anne, you want to email connect us or send things my way.
I don't know. Are there any more volunteers needed, Doug, at Pathways?
I think we're good on volunteers.
Okay.
I think the really great opportunity is to get parents and educators and students on Saturday. That is a wonderful conference for youth and the adults that work with them. And it can, you know, everybody has a connection to youth. So it's really a conference for everybody.
Mhm. Good. Great example, but both so very needed. I want to open it up. Folks, you can just open up your mic if you want to, or raise your hand. But any thoughts or questions for Dana this morning?
Dana, this is Melanie from the Center on Brain Injury Research and Training, and thank you for your hard work in schools. I worked in schools for many years, and that attendance, and you mentioned that attendance. And if we can, as a community, come together and help students get to school, 50% attendance is hideous, and there's a lot of reasons why. But thank you for being involved in that and just being that beacon of hope. And I know that ISDs throughout Texas have just taken a beating in terms of finances and funding. So this just gives me hope for the future. And thank you for your wonderful presentation.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, there's been some work citywide with other nonprofits, things like the free bus passes. And another nonprofit spearheaded that, but a lot of them are actually alumni of our program and then went on and like found employment at that nonprofit, sit on their board. So yeah, definitely lots of coalition work happening, but thank you.
And Kendra
That's
has
the
her
other
hand.
thing that happens at the intersection, hope building, you know, and we all need that. We all need that. Someone else?
Kendra has her hand up.
Kendra, welcome back from camp.
Hi, thank you. I'm not gonna get on camera because I am getting ready for work. But I just want to say, I'm an AmeriCorps alumni too, so okay, girl. And also, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions with the new. Well, it's an old regulation that's being put back in effect, and I'm sure it has everything to do with the budgets being slashed. And I see a lot of parents are very concerned about their children having to walk to school if they live within the 2 mile radius zone, because the buses are not picking them up anymore. A lot of children live in very dangerous walking areas. And unless children are over the age of 12, VIA is not helpful in this situation because they can't ride the bus, right? And so as a collective, I was wondering if you're doing anything to address that for parents, because it is an extremely pressing issue for many, many San Antonio parents. And also, I have another question. It's a two-part question. Do you feel that public schools are going to be forced to adopt the Bluebonnet curriculum because of funding?
Yeah, thanks for your questions. I'm going to answer the second one first. So we do know some schools in some districts in San Antonio are using Bluebonnet already. Yeah, and I think we've seen that like some mandates from the state you don't have to follow, but then they will cut funding. So I'm not actually, I don't know what that's going to look like in the future, but right now, not everyone's required to use it. But we do know many districts are adopting it. Um, and yeah, that's kind of how lots of mandates happen. They're like, you don't have to do this, but then we won't fund you. So we'll have to keep following that one. And then getting to school safely, yeah, so kind of in our next steps, we do a lot of this background informing, like that would be a topic our cohort learns about, or our ed chat learns about. And then this is the first year our learning fellows will also do a bigger activity in capstone. So I can see how solutions can come out of that and they'll get more involved and maybe advocate on that piece. But I just put in the chat also other like 3 different organizations because we partner with them sometimes. They don't lobby, they advocate, but they're focused on raising kind of the funding, right? Raising the funding per each student. So since we don't have that capacity to do all that work right now, if cohort members and participants want to learn more, we're like, great, go join, like, let's do this coalition with them. So yes, that walking is the getting to school safely. I do know that's been a conversation with city council districts as well, because that involves like the bigger city, the bigger neighborhoods. So I don't have I don't know if I had a specific answer for either of those questions. But those are very good topics to have the community keep discussing. And as I said, so our program participants this year are going to do more of a capstone at the end. And I'm wondering if some of these issues are going to come out of that as well. But we definitely invite, like one of our plans too is like, okay, let's bring that to the school board meeting. Let's get people together to go talk to school board members, talk to city council members. So those are just some opportunities I'm thinking about. I hope that answers a little bit. But yeah, there's definitely, I know I've gone to some meetings with city council members talking to their residents concerned also about getting to school safely. So
Yeah, I just wanted to speak it to
Yeah.
you because obviously you're the expert in the subject matter, and also in front of the group because I think these are really pressing issues to our community. This is a group of impactful leaders, and I thought this was the right place and time
Yep.
to bring these things up because this is definitely affecting our families in San Antonio. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Sorry, we didn't have like direct answers, but these are definitely topics we continue to discuss, and then we want to provide our participants, the broader community, with those opportunities of this is who we should be talking to, this is what we should be doing to help solve some of these issues.
Thank you, Dana. Have a blessed day, girl. I hope to see you soon.
Thanks, you too.
And Rich has his
I would,
hand. Sorry.
okay, great. Go, Rich.
Hey Dana, glad to hear about what you're doing in the community. Especially, I love the fact that y'all are working to increase access to opportunities for students. Talk about that, the urban core. I wonder, with your alumni that have gone on and they're in positions, they're creating these pathways to opportunities. How do we connect students with those opportunities, with potential mentorship or potential pathways to opportunities? Would it be directly to you all? Or we have to go individually to the alumni directly?
Yeah, if you have any opportunities to share, please feel free to email me. I'll drop my email again in the chat. Um, I do direct outreach to our broader network. If there's something very specific, like we have alumni that work at tons of other nonprofits or at the school districts. So I do specific connection, like specific outreach, but we also have a newsletter. I post opportunities on our social media page as well. So feel free are you asking like if you have an opportunity to share?
So we have students who come into our system,
Yeah.
and we need to connect them with opportunities, connect them with pathways to opportunities, and
Okay.
mentorship helps with that. So
Yeah. Well, I can if you put your email in the chat or if you want to take my email, I
okay.
mean, we can email connect because then I also like I get that information and then I can send it to you and things like that. And if you follow us, you can see them through what we post as well. But yeah, we're about to welcome 40 more people into our cohort. And every year they come with so much information that people are like, I didn't know that existed. How do we do that together? And kind of and I did want to highlight something you said before too. We talk about these really important issues. They are also, based on not great data. It's a sad thing to talk about sometimes. But by the end of our learning sessions, everyone's like, I feel so hopeful because I know there's 40 other people in this room. I know there are people sitting on Zoom right now, right, that care about our students. So it's a really interesting place. But yeah, even going back to like the opportunity sharing, I will save your email right now.
Thank you, Dana. Look forward
Thank
to connecting.
you. And it's a perfect segue. We're nearing the end, but a week from today, the 20th, from 3 to 4:30 is the Sacred Roundtable. And so once a month, Dana, we meet in person. So we do these weekly virtuals, but we do action labs, which are 3-hour kind of intensives. The last one was on aging adults and caregivers. And then every other month, which we're in, we have a roundtable, which is 90 minutes long. And it's much more about sharing and even more about networking. So great opportunity to meet up with your team there. Go with a group of people where you can kind of roll up your sleeves just a little bit more on what you're doing and working together. So I put that into chat so everybody could scroll up maybe a little bit and register for that. No cost. We will be focusing still on older adults and their caregivers, but we encourage people to bring business cards, flyers, brochures, whatever is going on. And this time we're going to do just a little bit more like an open mic. And what are you doing? And how can we connect? How can we help each other? So please make sure folks that you're coming next Thursday to the roundtable. Just hope and pray that I don't end up in a long-running jury duty, which I start on Monday. So that's all good. Do we have one last question or thought out there for Dana or for the common good? And I just heard my Midwestern accent come out a little bit. Does that every once in a while. Well, Dana, thank you so much for the important work that you're doing. Couldn't appreciate that more. I am going to be calling you in the future. Like I said, we have been having a few more volunteer efforts and things at the intersection, and I'm looking to just kind of bring them all together and say, okay, what could we be doing more efficiently and effectively together? So you will be hearing from me. Any more last thoughts? Okay, folks, school has started for some, more for others next week. So let's keep them all in our hearts and families. It's still really warm outside. Sending just good vibes every which direction. Thanks all for all that you do. Have great weekends, and we'll see you next week at the intersection and hopefully at the round table in the afternoon. Bye.
Have a blessed weekend, San
Thank you
Antonio.
all.
You too,
you.
Kendra.